Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking about the things happening in the upcoming week, and one of the most exciting shows of the year is the Raw Variety, back at the London Palladium this year, and I'm delighted to say that Hayden Parker was there for us and is here to tell us what's on the show. How was it this year, Hayden?
It was absolutely amazing. There's been a few years where it's been a little bit iffy, shall I say. You go along and there's been the odd duff act here and there, but starting from the beginning, the hosts, Rob Beckett, Ramesh Ranganathan, their chemistry just worked and held the show together. Starts off with Mary Poppins. Again, absolutely brilliant. Seeing Petula Clark on stage as the Bird Woman. Stunning. Charlie Stemp stole that performance again, as he always does. Sadly, though, there was no Rod Stewart there. He had to pull out because of a throat infection. Under doctor's orders, bless him.
I hope he's all right, Rod. I worked with him a year ago on Loose Women and he got crutches. He said he'd had an accident or something playing football, and then it turned out that he'd had cancer, and now he's cancelling a lot of stuff. I hope he's well, because he's got a big arena tour this December, so we'll keep our eye on Rod. I hope he's well.
Well, we've got to remember that he's no spring chicken anymore. He still looks it and he still behaves like a teenage boy, but he is getting older. So it's a shame. I'm really gutted I missed him. Cirque du Soleil, again, at the performance. Absolutely stunning, a real visual feast. Flo and Joan as well. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, Alex.
No.
Comedy duo, sisters, do musical arrangements and hilarious. Really, really funny. Lewis Capaldi, of course. Stunning. Mabel.
Well, not physically stunning. I mean, you know, if he loses his looks, I don't think people will be interested, will they?
I'd be interested to see if he took the Got Talent route and had been buzzed.
I mean, everybody's got a right to be ugly, but I mean, he makes me look attractive. It's incredible.
Oh, I'm not... No comment. Anyway, speaking of stunning as well, you had the gorgeous Mabel performing. And she finished up on the first act, and that was just truly sensational. There was this really sort of outstanding act, a dance act called Zurako, but they are absolutely phenomenal. There was about 20 people on stage performing some of these routines with young children as well. They looked about 8 or 9 years old, and what they were doing with them, just throwing children around everywhere. It made me want to rush home to my little one and just start chucking him up in the air. It was incredible.
Be careful, social services might not like that.
No, if they met him, they'd understand. Kerry Godliman as well. Very funny lady. Again, normally the graveyard, isn't it, for comedians? A lot of them.
It doesn't really work because the people in the audience mostly don't have a sense of humour, because it's a very strange audience. It's not your average punters, is it? It's basically a papered event for charity. But
she went down an absolute storm.
Oh, good.
And it's quite funny to watch previous years when you see comedians and you think, well, they didn't laugh there. And then when you watch the edit on the TV and you go, that's canned laughter they put on there. But
how many of these have you been to?
I think this is my 9th now.
Wow.
So
how does this fare compared to the other 8?
The best.
Wow. Oh, high praise.
The absolute best. Luke Evans again. He sung "Love Is a Battlefield." It was okay. I don't know if you like Luke Evans.
Well, I liked him more when he was in Taboo. I knew him 10, 15 years ago when he was at the Leicester Square Theatre as a jobbing actor, and he was phenomenal in that. I saw him on Strictly and was less blown away. Taking on Les Mis live on Strictly is a risky move. I'm not sure he quite pulled it off, but he's a nice bit of trouser for the boys and girls, I suppose. That's his selling point, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't. It was. He's a great singer. Obviously, after Beauty and the Beast as well, every household should know him. But it just wasn't as energetic a performance, shall I say? It was still very good. Come From Away, they had a clip of that as well, which was okay, not my sort of thing, but I can.
It's a great show, I have to say, and what I love about it is straight through, and you can be in the pub by 9:30, which is always my favourite.
Oh, well, that's good. And the Cannae Masons, don't know if you know of those. No. One of the guys was on last year's performance with a cello, and he was absolutely stunning. Well, he brought the family along. So there.
Oh,
were
I do
seven-
know. I know that. Yes, he's actually from Nottingham, isn't he? I know who he is. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
He's ridiculously talented.
Well, he brought the family along this year, and why they are not household names is beyond me. They need albums, they need to be on TV, they need full recognition for the absolute sheer talent. And you look at it.
But isn't that the problem with the raw variety, is that it puts on TV people that you would never see on the TV unless it was the raw variety? I mean, there is no place for a family of Von Trapp musicians to play, is there?
Yeah, and without the raw variety, people say, oh, some years it's good, some years it's bad, and you read the Twitter reactions when it goes broadcast. I think it's going to be, on the whole, 99% great feedback.
Well, that's rare, and I would turn down the gig if they said, would you come and host it? Because it's almost impossible to get it right, isn't it? Because it's so damn long anyway, and it's horses for courses. I like this one, you like that one, you don't like this one. I mean, it's a tough gig to put on, but I'm thrilled to hear that this year they've more or less got it perfect.
Here's a question for you, Alex. Did you like the play that goes wrong?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't so fond on the spin-offs, though. I thought the Peter Pan one was less good. And, of course, they're opening the Magic one, which is opening in 2 weeks' time.
Well, they had a performance of grown-ups. Wow. Brilliant. Very naughty, very rude. But it really did capture the kind of magic of today with children and adults and the whole... there's a part with a broom. That's all I'm going to say. But one thing I did notice, because I had fantastic seats and I could see straight in the royal box, and William and Kate were howling throughout the entire show. And William more than Kate, he loves his comedy, does William.
As does his dad.
Yeah, and it was just... And this grown-up section, they were both literally crying with laughter. We had Harry Connick Jr. as well, Jamie Cullum. It was, yeah, big names.
How was Harry? I saw Harry at the Palladium last summer.
He was good. It wasn't really my thing, shall I say, but it was still a very good performance. Personally, I'd have liked to have heard one of his old classics, but you can't have everything. And of course, Robbie was there as well.
Okay. How many stars out of 5 for the show?
5.
Wow. Thank you for your time, Hayden. You can see the raw variety. I think it's this Wednesday, isn't it, on ITV?
Yes.
Congratulations on loving it, and congratulations on ITV getting it right. I think they've had to, because over recent years, it's always the talk of show business, isn't it, where it gets worse and worse and more boring, and fewer funnier and funnier people on, to the point where it's tortuous. This could be the year that bucks the trend.